What's up, people? Rhyming. So last night I was studying, right? Studying for my class today. I'll make a video about it later, after class. If I don't make it after class, I forget all the details. But it's leadership class, so how to be a leader. Anyway, so I was studying for it, and for whatever reason, I could not focus. I was like, let me... Actually, before I study, let me go get something to eat. So I went out, and I got something to eat. Came back. Alright, I'm ready. Alright, let me just check my emails to get everything situated. Okay, ready. Okay, and let me just check my YouTube and answer any emails or see. Okay, this guy left a stupid comment. Let me respond to him. Let me see who this guy is. And then 3 hours later, my body's like, "Oh, it's time to go to sleep." Like, nah, I gotta do this work. Next thing you know, I'm like sleeping and waking up, and it's like hours are passing. It was crazy, man. Crazy. Procrastination. Now, I did do the homework. And the thing is, 4 weeks ago, I actually did, because we got the books like a month early. So I did all the work. So I was thinking, hey, I could just jump right in. But I want to refresh for today's class. And then we got to type up a little one-page blah, blah, blah. So it wasn't working for me. So I got to readjust my strategy there. Anyway, I did do the homework. I woke up early. I'm ready to go. And I got to... Oh, I got hired for one of the jobs I did last week. Yay! And yesterday, I actually went to teach at one of these jobs. It's like Eikaiwa, one-to-one lessons. Student comes in, bring a book, you teach them. It's pretty straightforward. And it's actually fun. I forgot, because, when you teach kids, kids are fun, but you can't really talk about stuff. Here you're talking to people around your age, depending on how old you are. So it was kind of cool, So I enjoyed it. I thought I did pretty well under the circumstances, because one of the teachers at the company quit. So then the lady's like, can you come in tomorrow? And I was like, okay. And then I get there, and she's like, okay, this is what you gotta do. So I'm learning all this stuff right there, right then and there. And then the student comes in, and he's like, go! So, I was trying to do what I was trying to do. And then after, I had two students. So after the lesson, the one student's like, yeah, Matthew, he's great. I have no problems with him. I look forward to our next lesson. The other guy's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like he knows what he knows. He didn't ask me a lot of questions. He's like, yeah, like, dude, it's my first day. I just met you. But that's the real life. Because, a lot of people like to complain or make excuses. He's the client. He's the whatever. So I do need to get better. Even though I didn't have so much time to do it, but I need to get better. Anyway, moving along. So then, recently, I'm reading this book by Malcolm. I mentioned him before. He wrote 4 books. This is the 4th one. And it's called Blink. Basically, it's about first impressions, or how our inner mind, our unconscious mind, makes decisions for us. An example of this would be like dating. I read other places too, and some girls have told me this, that a girl within 2 seconds of seeing you, or less, will know if they want to continue to see you. 2 seconds. So they might go on a date, and they might do this, and they might do that, and da-da-da-da-da. But the first 2 seconds, they already know what the outcome's going to be. So think about that. That's crazy. But yeah. So that kind of idea. Some other examples, when there was an art dealer or whatever, and this guy just bought like this 10,000-year-old Greek sculpture, and he was going to pay like millions for it, right? So then he had all his scientists, and they're all testing it and taking rock samples, and so, yes, it is from the whatever period in time, blah, blah. So then they invited some other experts, now they have it in the gallery. The experts come in and like, I hope you didn't pay for that. And they all had this kind of reaction, like, ugh, ugh. So then it turns out it is a fake. So then it's like, how did these people know just by looking? And these people, after all the research and all this, they missed it. And then, if you get into it, we got these little thoughts in our brains that are always kind of analyzing everything and trying to give us back, whatever. So, it's pretty fascinating because, I do music and, I'm always interested in how people come to their conclusions. How do they get to where they get? Like, for example, a lot of people assume that I am super tall because, they see me and I don't know, they just assume that I'm tall. And then we meet and they're taller than me and they're like, I thought you were taller. No, I never said I was tall. But if you notice, there's really nothing to show height. Just kind of a white background, what have you. And my girlfriend is regular size Japanese girl, so it would just make me look regular. But anyway, so those little tiny things, just little. So, way back, or every now and then I bring this up because this is something that I really, 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 really want to talk about. So these reactions that we have are so fast, like milliseconds. We make decisions based on what we see and what we felt, how we were raised, where we come from, like that. Now, if we think about things, no, I do not. We could talk all day long, but if we could somehow see you doing something where, like, just watch you, and see every time you would kind of go a certain way, for whatever reason, you wouldn't even know why you're doing it. They also tested this with like tennis players and baseball players, and they're asking this guys. He was like, how do you get all these home runs, or how do you hit the ball so well? I was like, I could watch the ball. And back in the day, they probably thought that, but then, as technology gets more advanced, we can see that the eyes cannot track moving objects after a certain, there's a certain point where it's basically it's in the gray zone, the blind zone. So then, the guy who wrote the book, or the person who wrote the book interviewed, he said somehow they were in the same like office, and he's like, so by the way, you can really see the ball? And then the baseball player's like, well, not really, but it just feels that way. So just these little tiny things. We might be saying A, but So he said, where are you going with all this? Where are you going with? All right. So a while back, or I haven't checked right now, but I'm sure someone has just recently put up a video about there's racism in Japan. And it's like, so in this test, it's called, I don't remember. I didn't memorize this, so I gotta check it. It's called the IAT, the Implicit Association Test. Big name for a simple thing. So it's online. I'm gonna put the link down there. Try it out. Try it out 4 times. It's not like any magical tricks. It's just, so basically you got 2 options, left, right. And on one side, there's a couple tests. I want you to take whatever you want, but take the black and the racist one, black and white. And I don't know where it is, but if you poke around on the site, there's one that's black men, black women, white men, white women test. So it's 4. It's pretty long, but anyway. So it'll be like first it starts you off pretty easy. So identify which is which. So I have a black face, African American, white face, I forget how they put it. It's not Caucasian. I think European. Oh, European. So just that way. Pretty simple. So you can sort them out. Then I'll have the next level is words. Good. Bad. Happy. Terrible. So sort out. Then it will put, okay, in the left side will be black faces and bad words. European faces and good words. So you sort them out. And then it reverses. So now it'll be white faces or European faces, bad. Black faces, good. And then and then after that, now it's a race. You got to be because you can't really think about it. Just let your mind do the. So finally, when you're finished, you'll say it'll tally it all up, and it'll be like you have a strong preference to. So I won't say what mine was, but I'll tell you later. But first, take the test, and let me know what you think. And it's crazy, man. The outcome, I mean, it makes sense, but it's just something, man. So in the case of Japan, I would love. Well, I don't. It was made by Harvard, and you know those are kind of smart people. I don't know who they are. I cannot vouch for the thing. Maybe it's rigged. I don't know. But assuming, you know, just a little preliminary test. If we were to put this test and have we get 100 Asian participants, if the majority went to one side, they have a preference for one, I would say there's a problem. But you know, but this is between. I don't need to hear your results. This is just take the test. Have someone you know take the test, and if you have black friends or European friends, have them take the test and see. Like it's really interesting, and I just wanted to share that with y'all. Anyway, I'm about to be out. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah. Last question. I think it was Newt. I think Newt 2. He asked a very good question. It was a really good question. So he said, or he asked, so I said before you could live in Japan, not speak Japanese, and get by. You could live, da da da. So he's like, yeah, but I heard, or he heard that to get the good jobs or to make more money, you have to speak Japanese. Isn't that right? Or something like that. I'm paraphrasing there. And the answer is yes. It would be foolish or presumptuous for someone to be like, yeah, I'm not going to learn the language and I'm going to come to this country and I'm going to make as much money as the top people who do speak the language in this country. Now there's rare instances, like if I became #1 on top of YouTube, I could be in Japan making a lot of money. Not the most money, but for, you know, YouTube is, you know, it is work, but it's not like work, you know what I mean? So that would be one instance. Or if Jay-Z came to Japan and I happened to be in the same place he was and they had some kind of freestyle contest and I got up there and freestyle, I was like, yo man, that's nice. And he's like, I want to sign you right there. I'm pretty sure my popularity in Japan and the rest of the world would phew, and that would be another instance. But these are like these far out there, maybe coulda, woulda, shoulda, maybe ifs, which I hate operating. I don't like those things. Because if it did happen, and I was saying, if I were to give some advice to some other youngin, you'd be like, so how'd you do it, man? Well, basically, I worked very, very hard for a very, very long time, and nothing happened. And then one day, Jay-Z came in, boom. So basically, I'm saying, you know, work really hard for a long time, and then wait for some famous person to put you on. That doesn't work for me. So, yeah. If you don't speak fluent Japanese, now there's many different scenarios here. Now, if you're good at what you do, whatever that may be, say you draw manga, it is so good that you already got scholarships to the top 20 schools in the world, then yeah, you might be able to come to Japan as is. Or if you're just so beautiful, drop dead beautiful, that planes drop dead because you're beautiful, shit like that, then maybe you could come off of that. Or maybe if maybe again, we're back in the maybes. But you know, I know most people who have jobs don't like, you maybe will get paid. There's a possibility you could get paid this week. We don't like, we like consistency. So if you want to be consistent, making a lot of money in Japan, learn Japanese, learn the culture, try to be very agreeable and, you know, whatever. Or come with a very good strategy. You know, Apple, I know Apple might have paid people or hired people to do the Japanese side, but you know, Apple had a good product. It worked in America, it's gonna work everywhere for the most part. Anyway, so if you got any questions, I'm gonna do this now. Anytime I make a video, I'm gonna answer 1 or 2 questions at the end of the video. Give my little rant, you know. Anyway, I'm out. Thanks for watching. Peace. Rhyming.